Sup everyone, I'm your female otaku, and I'm here to review the first anime to air in the winter 2017 season, and 2016 isn't even over yet. Chain Chronicle. Now first, let me explain the whole situation going on with the release of Chain Chronicle, because I know some people are rather confused with that. Basically, a few days ago, 4 episodes were released in theaters in Japan, and those same 4 episodes will be re-released weekly starting January 7th, and then, they'll continue airing the rest of the episodes from there, whether it be 12 or 13 episodes. And as for the movie format, it'll continue to release 4 episodes every month. So this month we have 4 episodes, next month we'll get 4 episodes, but also next month, January 7th, they will release each episode weekly. So yeah, I watched the first 4 episodes, aka movie 1, of Chain Chronicle, and I'm not impressed. It's not bad. It's definitely not bad. To me, it's strictly average because I've seen this type of anime so many times. It's sad because it's trying to be unique. It tries to in the first episode, and maybe the first episode did hook you. But for me, I saw lost potential because in the first episode, the first 6 minutes were completely rushed, and I was very disappointed in that. Within those first 6 minutes of the episode, the heroes lose. Now, that's supposed to be, the big thing about the entire story, but it wasn't for me because of how it was executed. We were just suddenly thrown into a battle, which isn't bad because sometimes you gotta hook in your audience with something exciting. I get that. The thing is, the characters. The character introductions are basically happening right then and there, and they don't really go back to that and expect you to remember who's who, what's their relationship, and what class they are and stuff. I'm just like, whoa, what? It was just thrown at me. I was so surprised. I was shocked to find out that the main character is actually the captain of the army and not just some, kid who's, like the regular main protagonist, just some kid that just so happens to be the trump card or something like that, the OP. But no, he happens to be the leader. I think he's in a relationship with Fina. I don't know if they're siblings. I don't know if they're lovers. I don't know if it's just some sort of thing where they both have feelings for each other, but they're not together. I don't really know. We also have a princess thrown in there. I'm not too sure if she's a part of the main character's army or if she has an army of her own. Not too sure what's going on with that. We also have Pirika, who is a special sprite. I don't know if there are other sprites. I don't know if she's the only sprite, but apparently she's super important just because she is the will of the world. That's it. She's just the will of the world, and the world cannot be covered in darkness until this sprite is dead. Okay, next we have the Chronicle itself. What is it exactly? I don't really know. Now, maybe they did explain this, because the only time they talked about the Chain Chronicle was in those first 6 minutes, when the book was split. But it went by so fast. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe they didn't explain it at all. I have no idea what this Chain Chronicle is. I don't know what's written in it. I don't understand. All I know is that it can be used for healing. However, it didn't do such a good job since it was split in half. Character introductions, relationships, and the setting of the world was just all thrown at me. Now, when it came to the setting, I was able to take that in a little easier because it started to follow the typical fantasy anime, or typical fantasy game, I should say, route, with all the different types of, I don't want to say clans, just, different types, guild types. You have, the thief, you have the merchant, you have the archer. It just went through all those tropes. I was like, okay, fine, don't introduce me to the world. I pretty much already know what this is. And it seems like they're all a part of the same army. And again, I'm not too sure with Princess Juliana if she has a separate army of her own or if she's just like teaming up with the main character Yuri. I'm not positive with that. Basically, a lot of things were thrown at me that I just could not get into this anime, and it was all because of those first 6 minutes in episode 1. I will compliment this anime for its animation because the fluidity in the action is beautiful, and that is how you do CGI. CGI done exceptionally well in this anime. Oh my goodness, like when Aurum fights, like the lines are blurred between which is 2D animation and which is actually CGI. It is just so good, like damn, bravo. Bravo right there, that was nice. The action is absolutely amazing. Even though watching the first 4 episodes, I pretty much could call everything, there was one thing that I could not call, and that is what happened to Burkhard. Burkhard, he actually was consumed by the darkness, and I did not expect that. That is one thing I don't really see too much in fantasy anime. And it was interesting because throughout this time when I watched this, I was just all like, I've seen this before. No, I didn't just see this before. I just saw something like this. What was that? Tales of Systeria! Oh yeah! This anime is so much like Tales of Systeria. It's a shame, like maybe I could have liked this anime if it wasn't so close to, Tales of Systeria. And the second core is also about to air, so I can't imagine how it's gonna be like for people watching Chain Chronicle weekly while also watching Tales of Systeria weekly. Don't you think you're watching the same exact anime? I mean, come on. In the first episode, the heroes lose. It's the same thing with Tales of Systeria. Now, maybe they don't exactly lose in Tales of Systeria in the first episode, by the first episode I mean episode 0, the prologue, but they do end up releasing this darkness out into the world with Tales of Systeria, and it's pretty much the same thing with the Systeria. Only thing better though with Systeria is that they introduced their characters properly. I was able to get to know who they are, why they are there, the relationships between one another. That was fine. That's all I need, okay? How am I supposed to get into this anime when I don't even know who these characters are? I've ranted about this for much longer than I expected. It's almost been 10 minutes. Okay, I'm just very disappointed with Chain Chronicle, and I'm not interested in continuing this anime. But if you are interested, fine, it's all good. Again, this is not a bad anime. I've just seen this way too many times before, so I'm just not interested, especially since I already have Systeria, which is a lot like Chain Chronicle. So yeah, let me know if you're going to continue watching Chain Chronicle or if you're going to drop it. Are you going to watch the movie version? Are you going to watch this series weekly? And just let me know all your thoughts. I'm your female otaku, sayonara.